DVD, Two Brothers' alphabetical journey through our immense DVD collection that is protected by giant dogs.
Ooh.
I'm Josh.
I'm Noah.
And today we are talking about The Sandlot. 1993, I guess, nostalgic giant movie of, a baseball, friendship and baseball in the 1960s.
Yes. I'm going to let you go through it, and then I'm going to have some intro words.
Intro words, okay.
Yes, but you get through your thing.
Oh, do my normal
Do
stuff.
Do your thing.
Okay, it's directed by David Mikey Evans.
Mikey?
He's done the Radio Flyer, First Kid, the Beethoven movies, but only 3 and 4. So he does have like a theme going on for him.
Yeah, big dogs and nostalgia.
Yeah, kid movies and giant dogs, kind of things. I mean, I think he has one like sex comedy, but I don't think it's stuck for him.
And isn't this kind of loosely based on his real?
I think so, yeah. Because he was one of the writers as with Robert Gunter, who has not done much. This is his one movie credit.
Okay, so
he has TV movie credits of Sandlot 2, the other Sandlot movie, Heading
Electric
Home, and
Boogaloo.
Journey to the Center of the Earth. All these are made for TV movies, so not.
And isn't he also the narrator?
He is the narrator. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So, let's see. It stars Tom Guiry, who plays Scotty Smalls. He is known more modernly for Mystic River, Black Hawk Down, and U-571. So
So he's gone and done
he's
things.
gone to, he's not like the main character in those, but he does have a nice oeuvre of work.
I mean, I guess that's the one thing you have to think about these movies, like with child actors. Like, did they go on to
do anything?
things?
Yeah. Mike Victor, who played Benjamin Franklin Rodriguez, he was in D2, The Mighty Ducks, and D3. He joined that sports movie thing. And then he got, I think, a regular on Chicago Hope, the TV show.
Okay.
And then, for some reason, IMDb chose Art LaFleur, who plays Babe Ruth, as the third billing.
See, I would have put Ham.
I would have put him or, one of the
Other
parents.
kids. Okay,
or
but
somebody.
Art LaFleur.
But I was like, I'm going with IMDb because, I would have chose Ham. But you know what? We're going to go with him.
LaFleur.
He's in Field of Dreams because he likes playing ghosts of dead baseball players. He's also in the movie Cobra and The Blob. So,
Okay.
For those of you who aren't millennials or of that ilk, here, let me do the synopsis of this one. In the summer of 1962, a new kid in town is taken under the wing of a young baseball prodigy and his rowdy team, resulting in many adventures.
And shenanigans.
Shenanigans do ensue. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to do my thing now.
Okay, you do your thing.
I stopped and went, oh my God.
Yeah.
So this movie came out in 93.
Yes.
For a movie that took place 62, 63.
Yes.
And we're now 30 years from this movie.
Oh, please don't make me feel old.
Yeah. So we are the exact same time between this movie coming out and the movie depicting it. So we have a very interesting thing of there is double nostalgia for this movie.
Yeah, so
there's the nostalgia of the 60s, and for us, there's now the nostalgia of the 90s.
So for the filmmaker and the parents who were watching this was their nostalgia of their childhood kind of thing. And for us, this is the nostalgia of this is the quintessential baseball friends summer movie.
It is.
Of the millennial generation, basically.
And it's like, because I'm going to have criticisms of this.
Yeah.
Only because, as we've done with other films, like some things do not age. And it's like, and I do love this movie.
Oh, yes.
But all things fair and equal and keeping it 100 is like, I'm going to call out things that
don't work any well. Yeah.
But I was like, there's going to be themes of rose-tinted glasses and legend.
Yeah.
And I think that it's important. I think it works for the movie's favor. And I think it adds to what the writer wanted of showing like kids' memory of the incident,
the fantastical of the
things
memory,
that are legend, things that like you grew up thinking like, oh, I remember when. It's like, no, you don't remember it the way you think it happened, but it's kind of fun to remember it the way it is in your mind.
Yeah.
So that other way is like, I just want to point out, it's like, we're old.
We're old. Yeah, we're old.
So I mean, because it starts out like at the ballpark, and the first thing that popped into my head is like, if my kids are watching this, would they see the 90s as I see the 60s?
Yeah.
It's like,
probably. I mean, that's the joke of that 90s show is out right now. And that was the same amount of time from the 70s to when we watched that 70s show when we were of the right age. It's like, oh, that makes me feel
old.
and my knees start hurting.
Knees,
Yeah,
my back.
But yeah, we get the opening of the empty stadium and a man walking into the press booth, and then narration.
Yeah, you get a story about Babe Ruth, and you do have like this Wonder Years narrator, which
what would you do if I sang out of tune?
I think Wonder Years is a good.
That's a good touchstone, but that's also as old as this movie,
I know,
or older, but
but like kind of like. Looking back on a yesteryear in a much more positive, like there's nothing objectionably bad about the but it's like, but it is going to go through a kid's view of a time period, and it's going to just focus on a singular event that is very positive in this narrator's life.
Yep. And so we get the Babe Ruth setup, and then it's like, okay, we're gonna flash back to the early '60s and how his moving to this Smalls moving to this new town,
and he's like, I have to say, is like they chose a really good actor for because he is awkward as hell.
Oh yeah,
it's like he's the new kid. He's awkward.
Yeah.
They set him up. He's like, I've got this stepdad.
Yeah,
and I want to like. I'm like, is he dad?
Is he not? Because he's like it's not that normal conflict of he's trying to move in. It's like, no, I lost my dad when I was very little.
Yeah, I don't necessarily.
My
have
mom remarried. This is not like he beats me or anything.
No.
This is like I just don't know how to feel about this guy in my life.
Right. It's like it's nothing negative. It's just like you could like this kid is
just
trying
to
fill out his relationships with everyone.
And the stepfather's played by Dennis Leary, and
but yeah, he's awkward with him. It's like he's like, oh, sorry,
Dad, Bill,
Bill, what?
Yeah, but and I have to say, Smalls' baseball hat, which we see early on, has the biggest bill or brim that I've ever seen. It is like the worst hat ever.
I mean, I guess it's supposed to be a fishing hat.
I guess
but it's like that's a really big bill.
Yeah,
I mean, it just sticks
way out. And I do like that they call on it later, but
But I mean, it's basically right off the gate. He's like, and you do feel for him because like he got to town like a week before summer, and he's like in the situation of like, how am I supposed to go make friends
without the onus of like a school year where you're forced into a same classroom with everyone. And he is like that quintessential nerd of the '60s of like he is very good at school. He has his erector sets and his Legos and all those things.
He thinks he's a thinker.
Yeah, and his mom is worried about him, and the mom is played by Karen Allen, I believe, who you might know from like Indiana Jones and things like that.
Well, she gives him a pep talk later, like, I need you to go out and be, sociable.
Yeah. I need you to be a kid.
But I mean, before that, he basically most of the team of the Sandlot lives within eye distance of his house. Which is, I mean, it's all setting up this nostalgia of like, oh, remember when you were in a neighborhood with kids?
Yeah,
like,
you could just
we didn't have neighborhoods with kids, but
some people
they have neighborhoods with kids.
One problem I had, I bumped on watching this is the narration of him emphasizing several times in this movie of I got us into the biggest pickle. It's like, okay, I get it. Say it once. Don't keep saying it.
Pickle.
And then this is the day that I got us into the biggest pickle.
Yeah,
I was like, okay.
I did bump on that, but but he basically follows the neighborhood kids to the Sandlot, and he's watching that this is their love. They perpetually play this pickup game of baseball that there are no rules. Everyone's just doing their thing.
They're just practicing one, and Benny is like said, like he's like the prodigy, but everyone else is like, this is what we do. We have nothing else to do.
We have nothing. It's the '60s. There's nothing on TV.
Yeah.
This is one of those scenes where like I forget the term where you feel embarrassed for a character.
It's like it's the secondhand cringe.
Yeah,
I think
it's like he sneaks there, the ball hits him, he falls over, everyone's laughing at him.
Yeah.
He tries to throw the ball, he is no good, and he's like, oh my god, and you feel your heart goes out to this kid, like you're trying and you just.
And what's funny is like, of course they hired a kid who knows how to play baseball.
Yeah,
but they had a trainer. It was like, okay, for this beginning part, you have to be really crappy, so we're going to train you how to look bad.
Yeah,
and it's like. The actor's like, I bet my little league coach was so embarrassed when he saw this movie because he's like, no, I taught this kid how to play. Why is he playing so badly?
Like
but it's like, no, he did a good job. Yeah.
This is where like that awkward thing is like, no, you did a really good job. And he goes back home. He's like, I've resigned myself. I'm going to
be alone forever.
The mom's like, no, you can't do that.
Yeah.
He tries to get his stepdad to help him, and it's like it's just equally as awkward. It's like, and I remember playing catch with my kids when they were little, and it is that kind of funny thing of they have
Yeah,
no
no
spatial
spatial-
awareness. They can't do it. And you kind of go like, okay, yeah, oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And it results in him getting a
A black eye, yeah.
which as a movie goof
Yes.
only lasts for like a scene or two. And
Well,
then
yeah, because it's all makeup, and because was filmed in Salt Lake City, Utah, during like one of the hottest summers, that his sweat just made it go away. So
it's like, you get a black eye for, like,
for a little
scene.
bit, but yeah,
and it was like, and then Benny comes over to him, and this is where as a character development thing, is like, you like Benny, because Benny's in this kid's corner, even though it makes it so hard for Benny to talk him up to his friends, like, hey, come play with us. Oh, I don't have a mitt. You have a mitt. Come with me. I'm gonna go to bat for you.
He's like that best friend everyone wishes they have. He pushes Smalls to join, and to get that familiar friendship going, the director had the two actors come 2 weeks early for rehearsal, just the two of them,
just so they could bond.
So that they could bond. So when all the other kids showed up, they thought that they actually were genuine friends that got the roles together. So it was done well, but it is definitely that stereotypical of, if you're an introvert, the only way you can get out is if an extrovert adopts you and forces you out.
Yeah, and then you'll be best friends forever.
Yes,
I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's like,
says the introvert in the room.
Yeah, I mean, we both are, but yeah, it's like, you just need that extrovert. It's like, no, we're going out now. It's like, no, my bed and my books. No, we're gonna have fun. Oh no.
But we get introduced to the gang.
Yeah,
this is where we get the setup of the Great Bambino.
Yeah,
and I think, and I'm gonna say this, that there is great kid banter, and not a lot of movies do this where they write what kids should be like, and they don't get it right. It's like, well, that's weird.
Yeah.
Smalls like, who's that? And basically backpedals like,
no, don't be embarrassed.
It's like, I've seen kids do it to this day. It's like, where you're just like, you lie to save face. Like, I totally know what that is. And you're like, no, you don't.
And then we get like the fun insults too from like Squints, because like the L7 weenie was like, why'd you bring this guy? It's like, we use that to this day. It's so ingrained in us.
And on second watching, like, when they're just out and about, they don't make a big meal out of it. They put banter in the background.
Oh yeah.
That is like, no, that's totally what like teenage boys would be like. They're just gonna be razzing each other.
And I love, like, they're not perfectly written either. Like there's one that's like later on it's like, oh, what, this is baseball, not tennis. Like, get him a tennis racket, maybe he'll hit it. And then like 30 seconds later, it's like, throw out basketball, maybe I'll hit it. It's like, this is what little kids. Like, maybe they didn't hear my joke. Maybe I should try to get it. It's like,
one time they says like, you're like, my clothes are going out of style. I was like, you have no style. Shut up.
They've always been out of style. It's like, shut up.
We get the introduction of all. There's Timmy and Tommy, the twins.
Or older brother, younger brother.
There's Mike Palladora, who is Squints.
Yes.
Yaya. Bertram Grover Weeks, Kenny DeNunez, and Ham. These are your cast of characters. Some get more screen time than others.
Yeah, some will get their moments, some will just be there. Yeah.
But basically, Benny's bringing say, hey, we now have a full team. The team ain't having it, but Benny kind of is pushing back, saying, no, I'm vouching for him.
Yeah, it's like after like what it's was Blink and You Miss is like, after they lost a player from moving away, they've been one man down, so now they have another one. It's like,
and he goes to bat for him, and Smalls does this great almost little brother routine, where it's like, come on, buddy, I really need I got you here, and you were just you're really dragging your feet.
You're embarrassing me in front of the Wizards. Come on.
But all it takes is one catch.
Yeah, it's like, and I love it. It's like, Benny's so good. It's like, just stick your hand in the air,
and I'll take care of the rest.
And it's like, and that's all you need. You need one listen, one pep talk, and now you know how to play baseball.
And that's okay.
That's okay. And I do appreciate that they don't draw this out. It's like, he is accepted. He has accepted the group, and now this is a story about friends over a summer. That's all that we need.
Well, and he gives him the glove. He gives him the glove.
He gives him the glove.
Gives him a hat, and he does. Upon rewatching, he does a really nice way of saying, "Don't dress like this."
Yeah.
He's like, "Hey, you got some jeans and a t-shirt. Why don't you wear that instead?" Like, he's not mean about it. But he's
burn that hat.
Around
oh my God, burn that hat.
Burn that hat. It's okay to say burn that hat, because that
hat is awful. And just as a little brother moment of Tommy and Timmy, of where Timmy is repeating everything Tommy says. It's like,
shut up.
Or Tommy's repeating. It's like, shut up, Tommy. It's like, yeah, as a younger brother, that hit a little home.
So he's been accepted. We go on the next day of Ham hits a home run.
Yes.
And this is all, what's nice about having Smalls is it introduces it to the mythos of what this group knows as, shorthand. of he goes to go get the ball over this fence, which has been hinted as there's something back there. Yeah. It's big.
Yeah,
it's
making noises. Yeah.
And we get the introduction of the Beast.
The Beast.
You know.
Yeah. And I do like that he's trying to get over and everyone's like, oh, no.
Screaming, no. Go look through the thing and you get like this giant paw.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, well, what's going on? It's like, we're going to have a camp out. We can't do this during the day.
No, you got to have a camp out. And it's one of those movies where it's like, God, they have such awesome tree houses in the movies back in the 60s. Like, it's like those dream tree houses that like no one will ever have.
That could fit 10 friends instead of like the tiny one that maybe fits you and your sibling, and it's a
plank of wood.
Yeah, basically up in a tree. But this scene with the s'mores and stuff took forever to film because everyone kept cracking up. It's
there's banter in the background. You're gonna burn the place down. Give me a s'more.
It's like I want one. Yeah,
it's genuine, and the s'more joke falls like it's a dad's joke.
It's a dad joke,
but you do get also the one of the quintessential lines of "You're killing me, Smalls." That got used in various forms in other movies.
Oh yeah,
just throughout the 90s.
And apparently, it's like the actor has been yelled at him to this day.
You're killing me, Smalls.
And he's like, at first, like I hate it. I'm just a kid. But it's like now in my 30s and 40s, like. You know what? I appreciate that you guys still love that role. But this is apparently from a Denver Broncos thing of you're killing me, Whitey. You're killing me, Whitey. And so they just like adapted it to this movie and other movies.
Well, and it was also put in the this was also put in League of Their Own where he goes, "You're killing me," done in the same way. And it did become very quintessential in the 90s as kind of a zeitgeist of people would just say, "You're killing me, Smalls."
Smalls, like when you were frustrated with a friend of it's like, come on, you got to know better. But yeah.
But then you get the Squint story, which
this is like Squints. This is like this and the Pool of Squints' moment to shine.
And it's like it's done in B movie style with almost stop motion things.
Yeah, the black and white, the Harryhausen beast. None of the actors are actually true. Yeah.
And also, upon rewatching, because this struck me when I was younger, and I think it plays into a deeper hidden meaning later of how they didn't use James Earl Jones as the actors. They show him, and I think this ties into kid nostalgia and legends of stories aren't always true.
Yeah, no,
there's a nugget in there, but they get,
Yeah, I like that we don't actually see the genuine dog until Benny sees the dog,
and I think this also, I'll jump ahead in my theory of every time you see the Beast as a puppet, this is legend. This is this is looking back and be like, oh no, the dog was like 500 feet tall, and it's
whereas in reality, I bet the dog just wanted to play.
Yeah,
that is the note because like this dog just wants to play.
And I'd say like when they start doing all their shenanigans later. Most of those are legends.
Yeah,
Benny hopping the fence and the dog is real. I think becomes a true story that doesn't get doesn't get tainted by time.
Yeah.
So it's like, and I think that same thing with James Earl Jones is the story of you don't know who he's a mean old man, but when you actually meet him, like, oh no, he's really nice and the dog's nice. And
because it's like this is this dog was born 20 years ago. It's like no, it didn't. No, it wasn't.
But
that's the adult in me, not the kid in me. Where it's like,
and that's what makes this kind of fun.
The ghost story.
The ghost story is like these stories and your childhood is kind of rose tinted in legend.
Yeah.
But you get the other memeable moment of forever. So most millennials, if you did that, they'd know exactly.
Especially the older ones like us. But we move
to
the intro of Wendy Peppercorn. And then the pool
does not age well.
Well, and it is that joke of they were filming in Utah. It was 120 degrees or something like that. One kid passed out and like plowed into a camera when he was running because like it was dry heat. They didn't know that they were dehydrating. But the one day that they decided to go to the pool, it's like 50 degrees and they are shivering. When he is shivering on the diving board, it is genuine.
It's genuine cold, which works in this. Yeah. But it's like all these Wendy things. I know that it's done in a 90s style to reflect kind of like
the 60s mentality.
There is some sexism. There is, but it's like it's creepy.
Yeah,
it is like.
Well, it is that definitely thing of you could be like 5 years difference in age and it's fine when you're in their 30s, but when you're a 12-year-old and you're trying to mack on a 17-year-old,
I mean they do. I mean they actually use like he's perving on a dish.
Yeah,
like, it feels a little pervy.
Yeah,
and even like today, it's like you have to think like that must have been pretty awful for Wendy.
Yeah.
You know, like none of the lifeguards would take her seriously.
Yeah.
And it's like, there's like, you know, going further, like if you want to go like super left hand of like, there's like some consent issues. There's like, it feels weird. It's like I was like, I'd be like a little uncomfortable necessarily showing the scene to my daughter.
But it's like, yeah, no, they got kicked out. But it's like, it's that weird thing of, oh, but she was into it kind of thing.
I mean, they do cover it up later saying that they get married and maybe she did have a crush on it. I mean, there is a little creepy thing of like, she's a teenager.
But it's that thing of she respected the bold act, I guess.
I mean, there could be a whole big discussion on this scene. It's like, I don't think it ages as well.
But it's not the worst thing that like 8 earlier movies, like, you know, 80s sex comedies that we've seen.
No, like Revenge of the Nerds. Like,
that's just rape. That's straight up rape. Yeah.
But it's like this one is like, you could have a whole discussion on it. But I mean, it doesn't not work, but it's like it does feel
weird nowadays. And the director gave the actor one instruction: like, do not put your tongue in her mouth. I will destroy you if you do that.
Yeah,
it's like you will respect my actress. But
of movies from the 90s and 80s, is it the worst thing? No. But I'm going to call it out as like, this feels a little weird.
Yeah, and it was at this moment that I kind of was thinking, am I having too much nostalgic, too much rose-colored glasses? Because I remember when we were talking about Uncle Buck there just seems to be random scenes and all this. So I was like, is this just the random pool scene? But I went, no, I feel like this one is a little bit more earned because they do have it established that we're playing baseball and it's too hot.
It's too hot.
And so then we have this one that's like, oh, it's nighttime and it's the 4th of July. Yeah, we're going to go play. They at least establish things more than I thought that movie does. But if I'm wrong, this is just because I watched this as a kid and not that as a kid.
This is true.
And I'm willing to accept that wholeheartedly.
I think the difference is, and I mean, this could be the whole like, when you like a movie, when you don't like a movie, is like, when you think about your summers, you go to the highlight reel.
Yeah.
You don't go like, well, on Tuesday I did nothing. On Wednesday I did nothing. It's like, no. You're like, okay, we made it to the 4th of July. And then we went to the pool. And this one time we went to like, you know.
Yeah, so you get this idea of like, this isn't like 1 week. This is months.
Yeah, this is the whole summer. You're getting the highlight reel. And I think the fireworks scene is fun because like we played at night and all of us were kids except Benny who played. And
it is to highlight that he is the prodigy. He is the pro baseball player.
Exactly.
Basically,
and I think it is a fun scene, you know,
and
showing the nostalgia of an Americana, which, if you want to argue, did or did not exist
at certain points. And then we get, the next highlight is the rival baseball team, the quote unquote pro team or the rich kids team, where they have their jerseys, they have their bikes, they have an actual diamond, and we get the fun, this is now Ham's moment to shine.
Yeah, they're trading insults, they're doing their thing, and another thing that I know that has been criticized in recent years.
You play like a girl.
Plays like a girl. That would not play today. It's because,
but again, it's like it's 90s portraying 60s, where that would be an insult. So again, it's like
it works.
It works. It's not right, but it is right because it is the time period.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, they trade insults and basically like, we're gonna throw down. We're gonna go to your house and we're gonna show you what it's about.
And they slaughter them.
And
again, it's Ham's moment shine of he's just the insult king kind of thing.
Yeah, he can get in your head. He gets under the skin. It works. There's some chuckles.
And then they in celebration go to the fairgrounds, and this is like the moment of that one kid to shine by giving them tobacco.
Yeah, which I know today they would not do because it's that idea that like, you don't want. I mean,
you don't want to encourage kids to have tobacco.
I mean, I think in this case it works because you show an immediate cause and a consequence. It's like, oh no, I don't ever want to do chew because look what happens. They get on a tilt-a-whirl and they puke everywhere.
And so like the to make sure that you didn't think they actually gave the kids tobacco was actually beef jerky and licorice rolled together, which in itself sounds disgusting. But and then if you want to know the Hollywood recipe for vomit, it is it is baked beans, it is pea soup, it is oatmeal, it's a Hollywood gelatin to thicken it up, and some water. They spray it out of a paint gun.
Yeah.
But some of the kids, because of the licorice jerky that they had to eat and then going on the tilt-a-whirl did genuinely get sick.
Well, and it's like, this is, I think, an iconic scene of the movie. It's like, if someone said, like, well, what do you remember the most? Like the this scene probably remember.
And I remember this one didn't bother me. Vomiting is like you sometimes get sick by seeing other people vomit. But I think because I had already seen the movie Problem Child, where that vomit scene is 10 times worse than this one. That is like, this is nothing.
This is nothing. You don't even see them.
I don't even care. They just got stains. People are, but yeah, they're fine. We now get to basically what is the conflict of this movie.
Well, this is where there is a shift in the movie.
Tone. It's no longer about the friendships and the baseball. This is now about the adventure of they are playing a game. Benny knocks the stuffing out of a ball. And Smalls, knowing that his stepdad is out of town, says, I know where to get a ball.
Right. It was pointed out in one of the oopses is he does have another baseball. It's the black eyeball.
Yeah.
It's like, he could have grabbed that. No, we don't know. Maybe he used that already.
Or so he doesn't know where it is. Maybe or whatever.
But he grabs the Babe Ruth ball.
Yeah.
And hits a home run. And we have this realization of, oh God, and then his lie coming to fruition of, I didn't know who Babe Ruth was.
I just assumed the penny has dropped of, oh my God, I'm dead.
But it shows the true friendship, survives. Is they're going to help him get it back, and you get kind of like the shenanigans, Looney Tunes.
Yeah, I mean, I love that. It's like they're just trying to think of ways. It's like we could just ask the guys. Like, no, that's not even possible.
And I appreciate the movie did it because I think a lot of movies would gloss over that because they take a moment to say, no, you can't knock on the front door. He's a mean old man.
He's the one who fed the kid to his dog. So it's like, we're going to do all our kids next door.
And this is where I'm going to come back to, like, some of them are legends. Yeah. Because I'm really like willing to say, like, no, this is also movie funness. No, this would never work. But there is that kind of thing of, we maybe have tried it and it didn't work as well as we remember it, but remember we trying it.
Yeah, it's like try number one where they have like the broom handle. The broom handle and the periscope. Totally probably happen.
Yeah. The pot, believe
try number two, a metal pole with a pan on it. Totally.
Three vacuum cleaners. We're getting into like, well, maybe not, but there's a fun thing like roll on two, roll on three, and then big explosion of dust when it doesn't work.
Yeah, and then I love Timmy's like, I blame myself. We've got to try this from above.
I'm just saying, if you were worried about losing a ball, it's like, you go tell your mom you exploded their really expensive
3 households vacuums are broken.
Like your hides are tan.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. And then try
to do doing the
number 4, the Mission Impossible harness bungee thing. I always remember it's like, when he's freaking out, he does the I don't know why, but it makes me laugh every time.
I mean, that's the Looney Tunes of it. But it's like, and then like the erector set is fun. Because it does establish that he is good with the regs. Like, you could almost see it maybe, but it's like, you're like, was the RC technology good enough in the 60s to handle this?
Well, I mean, they do have wires to the thing, so
I know.
But so it's not as RC, but it's like, I feel like we could just sell these, but yeah.
And then we get.
But again, this is where it's like they throw the ball, the dog catches it. Now it's still a puppet, but this is where we're going. It's like, the dog just wants to play.
He just wants to play.
He just needs some scritches.
But we get the dream moment.
Yes, where we get our third billing guy. Of Babe Ruth showing up.
Babe Ruth showing up, and doing kind of the quintessential line of the movie, which is, heroes are remembered, but legends never die.
And it's also that that pep talk of you get like everyone gets like one shot, and
mom spaghetti.
I'm not gonna
throw away my shot,
kind of thing. And it's like, this is the moment. And he takes Hank Aaron's baseball card.
Yes.
And it's a fun little moment. One, because it's Hank Aaron's the one who beat Babe Ruth's home run record. But two, it's kind of that interpretation of he sells that card to get his shoes is the fan theory is that he needs some money to get brand new shoes.
Yes,
that's how he gets them.
Got it.
Kind of thing.
Got it.
He honors Babe Ruth more than Hank Aaron kind of thing.
Got it. But that's the thing is like he gets the PF Flyers, which
did get
they did come back, and also Converse made a uptick in sales because of this movie in the early 90s.
It's like. Movies don't influence people. They kind of do sometimes.
But they're good enough.
But unlike that other movie that we watched, I, Robot, where there's like, these 2014 Converse, like, no, this is how you do it. You don't
make a big deal out of it.
You don't like they made it as big a deal as they could. It's like, oh, these are to make you run faster. But it's like, it's again in that nostalgia. Oh, this is what we thought in the 60s. They're not saying, oh, this is what happened.
Right. And it's like, and I think I also owned a pair of Converse around this time, and I did not find them comfortable.
No, they're flat. They're so flat. You get no support whatsoever.
But this is where we get the last try. And
try number 6.
Where this probably did happen the way it did is he jumped the fence
to drive
and there's a
the ball.
dog chase.
And again, it's like, this is where we actually get to see the genuine dog. And it is an English Mastiff.
He's so cute.
He's so cute. And the dog drops the ball. And if anyone knows dogs, that is like, I want you to play with me.
Would you throw the ball to
Please
me?
throw the ball.
But,
and so when he goes and grabs the ball and runs away, the dog goes,
it's chase time.
It's chase time. We're going to have fun.
Things that I noticed in this chase that I didn't notice before.
Yes.
When he's running through the alleyway and throwing trash cans down, you see a trash truck at the end of the alleyway. I'm like, did they not pick up this trash? Or they are awful trash people who did not pick up this trash.
Or they're about to, and they saw the alleyway and went, yeah, this ain't my job.
They're at the end of the alleyway. They should have gone through the alleyway. They would have
come this way.
No, the trash can has already gone through. They are not doing their job
well. Then, that's fair. Or they put it there. No, it's like, some kid's going to need this for a chase sequence. It's time to load the trash. All trash people are from Brooklyn.
Yes.
But so he goes over a car. There's scenes from the Wolfman movie.
Which, another thing is like, if that's their movie theater, that is clearly a gym.
I don't think it's a movie theater because, one, it is clearly a gym.
No, I think it says, like when he runs in, it says movie theater.
Well, I don't know because movie theater screens are against a brick wall or a concrete wall. They are not hanging. I think this is like a community center event.
I get that, but it's like, but there's like, it says like to the movie theater. And like, I'm not saying like this little town, like that is the movie theaters. You know, Mabel sets up her Super 8 and you watch films.
And next week we do bingo, but
the other one is like you have to have the obligatory cake gag.
Yeah, this is as close as we get to the pane of glass kind of thing of the cake, and then and
then a bunch of people are gonna run through,
and then the water park with the little kid who says big doggy,
big doggy,
and then back to the Sandlot
where you get like the kind of thing where the beast gets squished and you have this moment of compassion
from Smalls of saying the dog is hurt, please help me,
and Benny helps him,
and then the dog, it's like that Aesop's fable of pulling the thorn from the lion's paw.
It's like he wants to be a friend.
He wants to be a friend. Now get the dog to lick Smalls' face is they spread his entire cheek that's away from camera with baby food that the dog really likes, and it's like the actor's like, I don't mind because I love dogs. And this was a great dog, but it's like, the dog loved baby food a lot, and it's just like, and it's like the face he makes is more of the baby food. And
that's fair. Yeah, but the beast shows him that they have a nest of balls for them to play for the rest of their lives.
That he always wanted to play with,
But then we get the introduction of James Earl Jones
as Mr. Myrtle,
And I do like it. He does like, why don't you just knock on the door? I'm like,
and then he smiles. He's like, come in and I want to talk. I'm a kind of.
No, he's a nice man.
He is a charming, lovable old man. It's like I want more scenes with him.
Well, it's like he said the same thing. I'm not wrong. You're not in trouble. You're dead where you stand.
And it's like,
But he gives him a better ball. He says like, listen, you come talk baseball with me.
Yeah, this is great.
It's like, I know you guys have been out there playing baseball. Let's make, let's take down that metaphorical fence and let's open up a little bit.
And those that know history, it's like, well, there's no way he could have played with Babe Ruth because they hadn't integrated. It's like, well, there's this thing of they didn't go too into it, but Babe Ruth and a lot of teams did play in the off season with what was known as the Negro League, like then, and they would play shop. They would get to have friends. They would do this like, oh, let's just try it out. And this is where he probably played with.
Well,
Babe
and they
Ruth,
actually used a real photo and just superimposed James Earl Jones' face. I was like, no, that is
a genuine photo. Yeah. So,
but anyway, he's a nice man.
Yeah.
The dog is a nice dog. It's like this thing of like kids legends versus reality. It doesn't always line up.
Yeah.
But then we get a kind of like a where are they now?
Yeah, the epilogue moment.
That Yaya went to military school and became like the pioneer of bungee jumpers.
We all know why.
Bertham really got into the 60s and we never saw him again, which this is, I looked
which is funny.
He was the actor in the
movie, the 1960s.
Or series called The 60s, and he was very prominent into it. So it's like, it is kind of like a wink, nod.
It's like, wow, that the self-fulfilling prophecy. Some the brothers got into construction.
They became
millionaires and things
Squints like that. This is their cover, their butt moments, that they went on to marry Wendy and have lots of kids, and he's the druggist, which that drugstore is prominent in a lot of
different
like
movies,
Halloween and stuff. So
Yeah.
it pops up as in Hollywood.
A lot of things, yeah.
Ham went on to be a wrestler.
Yeah.
And De Nuno's became a AAA ball player, but never got into the league and became like a coach of Little League.
Yeah.
And then you get Benny.
Yeah, we're back to
Benny and the Jets.
Benny and the Jets. Yeah, I swear that is on purpose.
Whatever.
But
the thing I like about this is older Benny is actually
the older brother.
The older brother of the actor, so that's why they look
right. Yeah,
look right. But he goes on to be a real.
He's a professional baseball,
and Smalls goes on to be the commentator of the team, showing that they became.
Yeah, for someone who didn't know baseball, becomes the voice of this team.
Well, yeah, it's the whole team. So they in theory, it's like they're still friends. They're still doing their thing.
And what's fun is like the actors did become friends, and they would catch up now and then every year or so. It's like, this was like one of the greatest summers of their lives, kind of thing.
Yeah,
is what they said. It was like this filming this movie.
Sure,
and it was just a thing that they did, but it is that quintessential, it is a touchstone for millennials and others. I mean, I heard like Kobe Bryant would watch it every 4th of July or something. It's like
I can't think of a lot of movies from the early 90s that you can say like, listen, everyone probably watched this. It's like movie. Or at least has some knowledge. This is one of those. It was the movie of the summer.
I mean, I still have the fantasy that dog lived to be 28 years old. There's no way a giant breed dog lives that long, but I wish I just wish it did.
He still lives on in our hearts.
Yes, Hercules still lives.
He lives.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, without criticism aside, it's like, no, this is a nostalgia-loving movie that you just can feel good about watching and feeling in the moment.
And it is that, that great thing of, when you're just a kid and if a friend just has a certain set of skills that can help you. And with those certain set of skills, he'll find you.
He'll find you.
And he'll befriend you.
He'll befriend you.
And if you just walk away, you'll never have that friend.
Is this friend Liam Neeson?
It is, because our next movie is Taken.
Taken. The finally proving that Liam Neeson can be an action star.
Yeah, I mean he was in a superhero movie early on that no one remembers, and he was Schindler. That's a hero, but yeah, Taken.
Certain set of skills.
Certain set of skills. So yeah. I highly suggest Sandlot. I still love it to this day.
Yeah.
I think it ages mostly well.
A scene or two, it's like I think it's still fun,
and I think it's for your kids if you have them. If not, and hopefully you can watch Taken. It's a fun action movie.
Don't let your kids watch Taken.
Don't let your kids go to Europe.
Don't drive like my brother.
Don't drive like my brother. So,
all right.
Thanks for coming by. Bye. Funny while I was gone.
You want to see if I start monologuing? Like, God, I'm sitting here. I hate Josh. He smells like cheese,
and not the good kind of cheese.
No, like that stinky French cheese.
Oh, the French of all Frenchy cheeses.